This week on City News, we're sharing cases of child sexual assault by priests who belong to an order of the Roman Catholic Church known as the Basilian Fathers. Now, it takes survivors years, even decades, to ever come forward and share their story of abuse. For one survivor, Peter Luci, it took him 30 years to find the strength to seek justice and go after the priest he says raped him. But when he finally did, Father Campbell suddenly dies. A warning, some may find the details in this story disturbing.
I'd never expected to see him that night or like that. That was shocking to me.
It took a chance encounter with Father Campbell at a friend's wedding for Lucci to finally open up about the trauma he says he endured as a 15-year-old at a high school run by the Basilians in Sault Ste. Marie.
And I seen him surrounded by 3 or 4 boys. He's playing with, 3 or 4 little boys. So I was just like, I was in shock. I did go up to him and I said, "Do you remember me?" And it was like in one of those movies. He was taken aback, literally, stepped back 3 steps, and started to tremble. Actually, So, no, he did remember me, with no doubt. It was obvious, but he denied it, right?
The face-to-face meeting would lead Lucci to finally tell his wife about the abuse he tells us he endured. He eventually joined a sex abuse survivor support group, which led him to psychotherapist Lynn McDonald, who has treated hundreds of men who are victims of abuse.
It takes so much courage to come forward. Men who come forward look back on that and they don't see themselves as boys. They're adult men. They say, "Why did I let that happen to me?" They're full of shame. They're full of remorse. They're blaming themselves. So it didn't just happen to you. It was done to you.
McDonald would take Lucci's claims and report Father Campbell to the Basilians. A Basilian father takes Lucci's statement and, in a confidential report, writes that the claims are credible. Father Campbell is also questioned and categorically denies that any abuse took place. The priest also asks Father Campbell if he's attracted to young men. After hesitating, he answers yes, but more as a father-son relationship, not sexually.
As the interview wraps up, the Basilian investigator notes that Father Campbell appears depressed and says he's concerned about how this will impact his future as a priest. Now, the Basilian rep gives his report to the Vicar General. 3 days later, Peter Luci receives a bombshell phone call.
I get a call at midnight that he's dead.
Was it ever made clear to you how he passed away?
No, I tried. There's no way they're going to tell me. I don't know. I mean, you can draw your own conclusion.
The Basilians have told us that Leo Campbell died of heart failure. Do you feel like that's a meaningful explanation of how he died?
Absolutely not. That's just a diversion. They're hiding something.
You actually weren't happy that he was dead, though?
No. I felt responsible for this man's death. It was crazy.
In his obituary, Father Campbell is remembered as a priest who had a special ability to reach out to the disenfranchised and alienated.
The Basilians did pay for Peter Luci's psychotherapist. They also settled with him out of court for $250,000, so that settlement comes without an admission of guilt. Now, the Basilians declined our multiple requests to sit down for an interview. Ahead on City News, calls for action and justice. An insider weighs in on whether or not the church is changing.